Today I'm renovating the observatory in Bloxburg. So on my channel, I've renovated all of the starter houses, and I was wondering, what can I renovate next? I've seen people renovate the town, people renovate houses, but I've never seen anyone renovate the observatory. So today I'm going to be doing just that. So if we look, just behind me is the observatory. If you don't know how to get to it, it's actually just behind the mountain above town. But as you can see, it's a very plain looking building, and there's absolutely nothing inside of it. So as you can see, it definitely needs some work done to it. But let's head to our plot and we can start the renovation. All right, so we're back at the plot, and the angle I'm going to make the observatory from is the back angle. So to start off with, I feel like it goes along about 8, and then here is where the circle is. And then it has like an L shape at the back, and that's good for the outline, I think. Part I'm most excited for, however, is to do the circular roof. And I'm under no illusions that this is going to be easy to do. I've never used the convex outer corner, whatever this shape's called. I've never used it. Okay, this actually looks pretty accurate to what the roof looks like. The only thing is it's not really lining up with the walls. Let's see what happens if we put all 4 down. And yes, I'm quite happy with that as the dome. And the original observatory is, I think, concrete, but it's this horrible like yellow color. I think that's actually the exact one. So I want to go for a complete switch up here. I think I'm going to use brick and make it like a custom gray color. And I'm going to make the observatory top a dark gray. And the wall trims can just be white concrete. And something is telling me that this observatory tower just isn't tall enough. So I might just make the observatory bit 2 floors so that in the end we can have like an actual tower and telescope in here. And oh my gosh, yes, I think that looks way better. Then is it worth being creative with the roof, like putting a slanted roof like that? I actually think that looks kind of cool. I wasn't sure if it would. And then something else that's on the original one is they have pillars like splattered around everywhere, including one here which we can custom size. Something else the original one has is it has like a front porch, which is like the weirdest thing because I don't know why an observatory would have a front porch. And it stretches all the way across the front of the observatory. And then what fences do we think will suit this? Maybe some glass ones. Yeah, because NASA is like space and that has loads of glass. And then the original one is super basic. It literally has like what, benches like that. I'm going to add some patio tables outside. But I just think by adding a few of these simple things, it's going to really help to improve the outside. And if you watch me, then you know I absolutely love adding garden stuff. So I also think we should line the back wall with rose bushes. I know I was just shading the benches, but I think we should have like a picnic bench in the middle. And we can just finish the outside off with some of these custom elegant plants. Now I think that looks so cute as a little outside area. And another thing that the original observatory doesn't have is any windows. It literally has 0. And rather than using real windows, I'm going to use glass doors. And I'm going to plaster these across the front wall. And I don't often colour these, but I think today I will. And for the actual observatory, I think we should use these wide windows, which again have been coloured to be white. I think the walls are still looking a tad bit plain though, so I'm going to add some lights either side. But for now, I think a final detail I want to add is actually an interesting one, and it's a giant pool surrounding the observatory. Because obviously the real one is balancing over Bloxburg Ocean, so I think it seems fitting for this one to also be over a pool. And as you can see, it just helps to give that extra little level of realisticness. And I realised we haven't also added a front door, so there's no way to get in. And a fun way to get to it would be to jump over all of these little squares. We'll add the rest of the windows as we go along, but now we can actually jump in to the inside. Oh my gosh, exposed. I haven't put the water all the way around just because I didn't want to waste all the money on a pool. So I'm going to start off by doing the floor. And the annoying thing is, because this room has so many angles in it, we are going to have to place the floor manually. And also, we should decide the layout. So it goes without saying, this room is going to be the main place. And then through here is basically where there's going to be an office control room. But I think we have to start with this main room. I just can't help myself. So I'm going to make quite a bold choice and make the walls white concrete. Oh my gosh, this roof bit here is going to annoy me. So if you ever want to know how to fix a glitching roof, you grab yourself a little basic shape and resize it just about roof level. Push it right up against the roof and color it the same texture as the wall, and it stopped the annoying brick. Yes, we still have this line, but that is fine. So anyway, like I said, I definitely want a huge spiral staircase in this room. I just think that is going to look so cool from the outside and from the inside. And at the top of this staircase then, we will add a nice big platform and obviously add barriers because you don't want to tumble down that flight of stairs. Then I'm going to use a vertical cylinder to create a very slightly raised platform. Here is where our telescope is going to be. So I think the game only has this one tiny telescope. I think it would be way too hard to like build one. I mean, we could try. Maybe we could use this as like a base. If we we put 3 cylinders in a row and then push this up here, we could actually be onto something here. Oh my gosh, no way have we just made a custom telescope. That looks awesome. I'm gonna add another bit onto the end. So if we make it like a foil texture, that kind of looks like a lens to me. That is so cool. And I think surrounding this, we're definitely gonna need a couple of chairs and then a massive sofa for whoever is about to go and look through the telescope. And then up here, the other thing I wanted to add was a little table so that if somebody's working up here late, they can go and look at the stars through the telescope. Then they can also come back here and write in their notes. And also this doorbell, I know that's so random, but we can pretend it's like a control system for the telescope because I'm pretty sure that they actually have them. I'm just gonna add one TV up here so it's like maybe a projection of what's coming through. Actually, I have a better idea. Rather than putting a TV, we should put a painting as the same color as a TV. And then on this, we can put a picture of like Jupiter or Earth or something. Then we can probably make use of this building mistake actually. And maybe turn this into like a bookshelf. And do they poke out the back? No, they don't. Okay, that looks perfect. Anyway, around the side, we're definitely going to need some modern looking tables. Then I want to put some sciencey looking things. So if we look up science, oh, there's nothing on there. Do you know what is sciencey? Globe. That goes perfectly in an observatory because, by the way, if you didn't know, an observatory is to look at the stars. If you didn't know that, you might be like, why are you building a telescope? But no, it's to look at the stars and planets and stuff. There's a planet sculpture. Where can we put this? Maybe down here. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. I feel like this looks kind of sciencey, geometric plant. And maybe we can have this, guys. And do you know what this is going to be? This is an alien that we're trying to find on planet Venus. So let's make it green like an alien. And then this concrete frog. But if we turn it around, we can pretend this is like a rock found off a distant planet. I'm having to be very creative here. I don't know why these shielded wall lamps look like they would be in a place like this. We can even add a lamp on the little desk. And then for the roof, I'm going to add some structural beams. If we just have it in a diagonal star, because you know, sky is a star. Wait, I've just had a brilliant idea. Isn't there a way you can make decals go on the roof? Right, let me look this up and see if I can do it. Okay, guys, I just watched Robuild's video on how to do this. And apparently you get a transparent cube and you make it like really small. And I'm going to put a painting of the stars on this. And I think this decal here is perfect. So then apparently you place it onto the cube. Oh my gosh, it actually works. And then you like lift it up to the ceiling. I should have picked a bigger painting. This is going to take ages. You know what? We could just have it above the desk. I know that looks so messy. Maybe if we just outline it. You know what? Yeah, I think that's a cool addition. A nice little space skylight above the desk. The most sciencey chandelier I can see is this suspended orbs one. And that's because these orbs look like little planets. So if we paint them blue and lift them up, it's kind of like we have some little floating planets on the ceiling. So next we have this little underground area, which I think should be basically the staff lounge, because here's where the offices are going to be. So they're going to need an area to sit. And actually, I'm going to make a custom coffee table to, again, look like planets. So if we have a big one at the end, that can be like the sun. And then what's the next planet? It's the first one's Mercury, isn't it? So the sun can be yellow. Mercury's like browny red, right? But yeah, we'll add some books. And oh my gosh, even with the pillows, we can give them circle pillows. So it looks like these are planets. I know it kind of looks like those cakes that have like one blob of icing on them. Anyway, I'm going to borrow this painting because I want some more space art to be on the wall. We can pop in a couple of these counters that we used earlier. You can also have some mini telescopes down here. Obviously, you probably won't be able to see like planets with this. But you know, you might be able to see some stars still. And again, I know this might not be to everyone's taste, this observatory. I still think it looks so cool. Like, I wouldn't want to live here, but it looks amazing. Anyway, this next room here is basically just a corridor room. I cannot help myself but go in and add some of these modern windows. And I think this should just purely be for decoration. And this little space here is calling out for a little storage zone. And I want to be interesting, so I'm going to use these helix shelves. And now we have the last room, which is going to be the computer room. I did want to add a toilet in here, but I mean, there is a lake outside, guys. So I'm not saying anything, but you know, I just don't think we really have room for one in here. So for starters, I want this room to be a little bit more normal than the other ones. By the way, I have no idea what is going on with these windows over here. Like, I don't know why the wall trims are glitching. But yeah, this room is basically going to be the ultimate control center. So rather than using desks, I'm going to use basic shapes And you know, just to be extra fancy, we'll even add some end bits so it looks like it's actually being supported. I'm whipping out the office chairs here, and the impression I'm going for is it's like the most smart people in the world all working together, even if they're gonna have to do it on these slow computers, because otherwise I'm gonna go broke. We can have a bunch of control centers on the wall here, so it's like a massive panel. And then to stop this wall up here looking so bland, we can add a big shelving unit. And oh my gosh, tell me that this does not look like NASA's office or something. And then to really finish this room up and take it to the next level, I'm gonna add some poles, a bunch of TVs. And again, actually, I feel like we should use paintings so we can put actual planets on here. And it's definitely gonna get really hot and like sweaty in this room. So we've definitely got to put some fans down. And it turns out we can actually afford the pools to go all around. And with that, guys, the renovated observatory is finished. Let me go change the pictures and then we can look around. All right, so all the pictures have been changed, but just before we go inside, I wanted to admire the outside. First of all, this is such a huge upgrade from the original observatory. Look at this beautiful outside garden area where you can sit down and get some work done. Good morning, it's time for work. I'm at work. I'm an astronaut. Did you not know? Yeah, let's now go and look inside. The first room that you walk into is the control center. Over here, we have a lot of live streams of planets. So we have Earth and then whatever planet that is. And then also a control center, which looks like, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a rocket, actually. A rocket we're sending to space. Then we turn around and we have the place where everyone can work. So, I mean, the desk is very high up. If you really stretch your arms, you can just about read what's going on your screen. And look, guys, right now there's a unicorn flying in space. Ah, I'm stuck. Yeah, that's this room. It's very simple, but it's actually really nice. And through here is a corridor. That's literally all it is. Nothing too fancy in here, but it does have some nice views. And then through here is, of course, the main room. So I thought I'd change this decal over here to a little chalkboard, which you can write notes on. And here's like the community area where you can sit down, discuss what you found today, if you've discovered any new planets. And oh yeah, also if you look up, you get a sneak peek of space. For certain, the best part of this whole build is the top of the observatory tower. We have our alien statue up here. We have our little mutant plant. And then the best part is the telescope, where you can look through this and get a view all the way out to outer BLOXBURG. And then over here is our desk where we can write notes on what we've seen. And right now the planet we're looking at is Pluto. And someone's put a sign saying Pluto for planethood. Pluto deserves to be a planet, guys. It's just like the rest of them, okay? Yeah, that was me renovating the observatory in BLOXBURG. If you want me to do any more builds like this, then make sure to subscribe. And thank you all so much for watching this, and I'll see you all in the next one.